This is FE Peer Review. The date is April 11th, 2021. And this is a little video about some interesting land surveying issues that arose early in the history of the United States. Back in the late 1780s, that young upstart of a nation called the United States had its eye on land to the west with a vision to expanding across the entire continent. Congress also had a problem. It didn't have the power to levy taxes. So the solution was for the so-called unsettled land, actually settled by Native Americans, to be owned by the government and for the government to sell off this land to settlers, homesteaders. But first, a good system for land ownership had to be established. That was right up Thomas Jefferson's alley, with his lifelong interest in architecture and geometry. So he got together with an engineer by the name of Thomas Hutchins and devised a system of land division that became the basis for creating boundaries for all of the continental United States. The basic unit was a township, 6 miles by 6 miles, 6 miles by 6 miles. This was divided into 1 mile squares called sections, 36 sections in a township. And sections were further subdivided into convenient-sized farm plots measured in acres. Everything worked out in nice round numbers. A section contained 640 acres. There's a section, 640 acres. A half section, 320, and so forth, down to a quarter, which had 40 acres. You may have heard the phrase, 40 acres and a mule. That was the 40 acres that we're referring to. It all worked out to a nice, regular square, a grid across the landscape. Of course, here and there you'd find a little hiccup, a nearby river offering a more logical boundary, for example. Here we've got a river between Ohio and West Virginia. But by now, maybe you've seen the one larger problem for which there really isn't an elegant solution. That's right, that pesky globe. The surveyor's work would be so much easier if only the earth were flat. Try wrapping a piece of graph paper over your desktop globe and you'll get wrinkles. Do the same across the American landscape and you'll get wrinkles too. This is a map of Iowa and it shows all the different counties. So typically, when possible, the state boundaries and the county boundaries follow these township lines. But there are wrinkles. You can see a wrinkle here. There's another wrinkle here. And if you could see the map of Minnesota up here, you'd see there's another wrinkle here. Let's take a look at those wrinkles in Google Earth. This is that same bit of Iowa. The gray line across the top, horizontal line near the top, is the border between Iowa and Minnesota. And these greenish colored lines are the individual county borders. There's our wrinkle right there. We can zoom in. Let's take this nice township right here. This is a perfect township. 24 miles, it's actually 24, it's a county, and it's 24 miles by 24 miles, so it's 4 townships each way, 16 in total. And if you zoom in further still, you'll see those smaller squares are 1 mile by 1 mile. Those are your sections. I will just randomly pick one, and we'll measure it. And we'll measure this section here. 1 mile across the bottom, and 1 mile going up. So there's your section, and clusters of 36 make a township, and then 16 townships make a county, and there's your county. Now, everything's moving, and roads are east to west and north to south, and it's the north to south where you get into a little bit of a problem. As we follow this road southward, we reach a wrinkle. You will notice that right across the middle here, all the roads below are offset from the roads above. If we continue up this direction, we will see another wrinkle, and this is the border with Minnesota. So they've made another adjustment at the border with Minnesota. Here's your roads, and there's your offset. Your road, and your offset. None of that would have been necessary if only that darned planet of ours had been flat, but it wasn't. So they had to make do, and that's how they did it. Thanks to Thomas Jefferson, and the smart people he worked with, like Thomas Hutchins, military engineer. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you. It's a fun little surveying issue. Have fun exploring the map. You'll see all kinds of problems they ran into trying to lay their grid out across the American landscape. Oh darn, there's a pond in the way. Another misalignment. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.